The day something crossed, Jupiter and NASA decided to stay silent. A gaseous monster with deep secrets. Welcome to Mindblown Space, where space science meets the inexplicable. Before you start thinking everything is under control up there, here's a warning. There was an event so unexpected during one of Juno's orbits that not even NASA fully explained it. But we'll get to that later. Stay with us. Subscribe and ring the bell if you dare to face the universe head-on. Let's start with the basics. Jupiter, that planetary colossus with no solid surface, but a volcanic personality. Its atmosphere is made of cloud bands constantly rubbing against each other, where storms roar so huge that Earth could fit inside one like a pebble in an ocean. But the truly grotesque thing about this planet isn't its size, but what hides beneath those clouds. Juno, the probe sent by NASA in 2011, has spent almost a decade spying on Jupiter from distances so close it's like flying 100 meters from a hurricane in full fury, without a parachute. Juno's microwave camera has revealed that many of those storms aren't simple whirlwinds, but cyclonic columns sinking hundreds of kilometers into the planet's interior. Some seem to reach what scientists call the diffuse core. A fancy way to say, we have no idea what exactly is in there, and it's no wonder. That core might be made of a metallic hydrogen ocean, a state of matter so strange it can't even be easily recreated in Earth labs. It shines like metal but flows like a liquid. And the best or worst, it generates magnetic fields so intense they could erase a computer's memory thousands of kilometers away. All this turns Jupiter into a playground of instability. At its north pole, 8 giant cyclones have been detected arranged in an octagonal pattern. Yes, as if the very atmosphere had memorized a geometric shape. And it does so without fail, orbit after orbit, like obeying a rule written in a language no one understands. NASA scientists can't fully explain it, but they record it as if that made it more comprehensible. Io, the orbital hell where the ground never cools. If you thought Jupiter's mysteries ended with its storms, wait until you meet one of its most unpredictable sidekicks. Io, this is no ordinary moon. It's a blazing geological battlefield, where the surface looks like it was painted by an apocalypse artist. Forget everything you know about volcanoes. Here, there are no calm craters or lava lazily flowing down slopes. On Io, lava explodes, jumps, and falls as if the ground were at war with itself. Juno got so close to this moon that it could practically count eruptions in real time. From just 1,500 kilometers away, the spacecraft captured incandescent lava plumes rising above the horizon like fiery ghosts. One of these plumes was photographed right on the edge between day and night, creating not only a terrifying image but leaving astronomers with more questions than answers. What triggers such fury? The most accepted explanation is gravitational friction. Io is caught in an eternal tug-of-war between Jupiter and the nearby moons. This constant tension stretches and compresses its interior like a rubber ball. And of course, just like a rubber band heats up with movement, Io heats up from within. Only in this case, what comes out isn't warmth, but rivers of pressurized magma shooting out at hundreds of kilometers per hour. One of the most puzzling areas is Loki Patera, a lava caldera the size of a province. Its edges are covered with bright molten rock, and at its center lies a magma lagoon so smooth it reflects light like a mirror. But that's not the only spectacle this hellish moon offers. Another place, called Cors Patera, was identified by Juno's infrared camera as one of the most thermally active sources in the entire Jovian system. Over the past 2 years, NASA has merged visible and infrared images from several orbits to create the most complete thermal map of Io to date. The red, yellow, and bright white colors mark areas where the temperature is so extreme that there's probably nothing solid beneath. It's as if hell rented an apartment in the solar system. And Io is its lava mailbox. The impossible choreography of the Galilean moons. While Jupiter dedicates itself to crushing molecules and unleashing storms the size of continents, its main moons dance around it as if they had nothing better to do. But beware, that dance is no coincidence. The Galilean moons, named after Galileo, who discovered them in the 17th century, seem trapped in a kind of gravitational ritual that follows a logic as precise as it is sick. Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto move in what's called an orbital resonance. Sounds elegant, right? Well, it basically means their orbits are synchronized as if they were gears in a cosmic clock, one that, by the way, could go haywire at any moment. Every time Juno flies by these moons, it encounters a collection of oddities. Ganymede, for example, is larger than Mercury, has its own magnetic field, and probably an ocean beneath its surface. Europa, on the other hand, is covered by a cracked ice shell that seems to be hiding more secrets than an intelligence agency. But there's something that has caught scientists' strong attention, and no, It's not a volcano or a crater. During one of the recent flybys, Juno's sensors detected electromagnetic emissions that didn't seem to come from Jupiter, but from the moons themselves. Imagine that. A moon emitting energy as if it had an internal radio broadcasting to the cosmos. And what was on the detected frequency? An intermittent signal, like a heartbeat. Structured enough to not be random, but not so organized as to say, this is a communication. Natural or artificial? NASA hasn't wanted to go into details. They've only said the phenomenon will be studied in upcoming missions. Translation: they have no idea, but they don't want to alarm anyone. As if that weren't enough, the interaction between these moons and Jupiter's magnetosphere causes auroras on the planet, but not like those at Earth's North Pole. These auroras are permanent, massive, and arise from charged particles shot from the moons into Jupiter's magnetic field. As if these moons were invisible cannons firing electricity at the parent planet. There's something unsettling about imagining a planet and its moons connected by invisible energy cords, something that feels more organic than mechanical, more biological than astronomical. And just when we thought we had seen everything, the unexpected happened. The silent crossing NASA didn't explain. During the 65th orbit of the Juno mission, as the probe slid along the planet's darker side, something happened that wasn't in the plans, the models, or the predictions. Something crossed between the spacecraft and Jupiter. Something that wasn't a moon, nor a satellite, nor a measurement error. For a fraction of a second, Juno's sensors detected a clear, direct, and physical interruption in the infrared light coming from the planet's atmosphere, as if a shadow had passed through the lens. NASA didn't release a statement. There was no press conference, just a brief note in the official log. Optical anomaly detected, origin unknown. And that was it. But in the raw data archive, that anomaly is there. A shadow pattern that doesn't match any known object. It wasn't Io, it wasn't Europa. It wasn't a lost rock. It wasn't Juno, nor a sensor failure. The probe kept operating normally. Everything worked. Everything, except logic. Independent astronomers who reviewed those data detected a shape that looks artificial. An elongated figure, with defined edges and constant speed. It didn't accelerate. It didn't turn. It didn't orbit. It simply crossed, as if it came from somewhere and was heading somewhere else, as if it were in a hurry. The most unsettling thing is that this shadow caused a slight disturbance in Jupiter's magnetic field right at the moment of crossing. It wasn't a storm. It wasn't a discharge. It wasn't a solar ejection. It was something different, as if the field itself had been around that object, and then everything returned to normal. As quickly as it started, it disappeared. Since then, scientific circles speak quietly about this event. No one wants to risk their career speculating, but everyone has seen it. An unknown structure crossing the solar system's greatest storm, and NASA simply recorded it as interference. Maybe it was a comet fragment, maybe an interstellar ice formation, maybe something else. But one thing is certain, nothing like it has been detected since. And with this, we close our journey through the untold secrets of Jupiter and its moons. If what you saw shocked you, subscribe to Mindblown Space, ring the bell, and share this video with someone who thinks they already know everything about the cosmos. Because out there, things still cross, without asking permission.